My lord, that is only for one category. Please, my lord, read 29B.
Yes.
If the central government is of the opinion having regard to the smallness of the number of workers employed or to the amount invested in any industrial undertaking or to the desirability of encouraging small undertakings generally. Well, this is first part.
Yes.
Or to the stage of development of any scheduled industry. This is second part which applies to the first three contingencies are for small industries. For other scheduled industries, stage of development of the scheduled industry, that it would not be in public interest to apply all or any of the provisions of this act thereto, it may by notification in the official gazette exempt subject to such conditions as it may think fit to impose, etc., etc. So, my lord, first three is for small industries, rest is, for example, non-potable alcohol is still in the schedule. No, nobody disputes that fact.
It's not regulated by the Act.
It's not regulated by the Act. It's not regulated by the Act. So, we have a particular quantity of non-potable alcohol which is produced. Now, non-potable alcohol has several uses. I'm just giving a hypothetical example why the Act still retains the power to regulate in future. It goes into making of the potable alcohol. It goes into making of certain medicinal preparations. It goes into making of certain paints and other industrial uses, my lord. Now, my lord, we had COVID, for example. And we required, and the government of India, the nation requires that entire quantity of industrial alcohol should be used only for manufacturing sanitizers, for example, giving a hypothetical example. Then the government can again utilize the regulatory power. Therefore, the power is retained, the regime of forbearance is enforced, that we will forbear from exercising. But the power is there, and not a decision not to exercise the power is also a decision. But I have given two examples in my original note, my lord, if your lordships can come to 2D, my original note, just to, my lord, illustrate this point. Page 56 of my note, my lord, volume 4D, 2D, I'm sorry, my volume 2D. My lord, these are the figures taken from the Niti Ayog roadmap. My lord, Niti Ayog conducts that what is the requirement of the country qua each schedule industry, product of each schedule industry, whether that requirement is met, if not met, what steps are to be taken. My lord, everything, my lord, since decades, everything happens very scientifically. There is a system in place. The country, my lord, doesn't run on an ad hoc basis. There are systems, there are institutions, every institution functions, they have their own defined roles, etc. Please see, my lord, page 55 first. What is the position of alcohol? This is what the Niti Ayog would examine. Your lordship have the chart, my lord. Just I am illustrating, my lord. This is by way of an illustration. My lord, 21-22, the ethanol requirement, my lord, for blending was 437 crores. I could have 50. My lord, page 55, 2D, volume 2D. For blending, the requirement was 437 crores. And for other uses, that is potable, my lord, making beverages plus industrial alcohol, it was 270 crore liters. So the total requirement was 707. The country was meeting with that requirement, therefore regulation was not necessary. But suddenly suppose there is a spike in the use of alcohol, not potable alcohol, but for use of any other alcohol, then possibly, my lord, the central government can step in and say that now we will control what will be produced, license will have to be required, from where you will procure the raw material. The raw material also may be required to be diverted. That sugar cane becomes molasses and molasses becomes ultimately the alcohol. So sugar cane would not be diverted for manufacturing sugar. It should be used for only manufacturing alcohol in a given set of circumstances. Therefore, the law is live. Right now exempting most of the items. My lord, similarly, my lord, please come to the next page, my lord. My lord, this is regarding the sugar. The sugar is an essential element, as essential food item, my lord. Please see, my lord, sugar cane production vis-a-vis sugar production and sugar consumption. So kindly, my lord, have a look at page 56. My lord, sugar cane production is this is in lakhs metric ton. In 1819, sugar cane production is 4054. Now, sugar is produced is 332 metric ton, lakhs metric ton, and the consumption is less than this. Now, suppose, my lord, for whatever reasons, international reasons or national reasons or whatever reasons, there is sudden decrease in the sugar production, and the nation needs uniform availability of sugar at uniform prices, then, my lord, sugar remains in the schedule, right now under the forbearance regime. This can be true, my lord, about every product. Just to give an example, my lord, in case of, my lord, say defense industry, one of the scheduled industries. So suddenly the defense equipments manufacturing demand rises for any international reason, my lord. There may be some minerals which are which go into the manufacturing of the explosive or something. I'm giving a very, very broad and hypothetical example. Then the government can step in. Right now you do without licensing, free market, free economy, no licensing. You do whatever you want to do. You invest your money, let the country grow, let the economy grow. But in certain circumstances, you have to step in. That is.
Then in regard to industrial alcohol, is the government exercising its regulatory power?
Yes.
Today, the compulsory licensing for industrial alcohol is gone. All alcohol is gone.
No, there are some regulatory controls. Licensing is not required, but I will show, there are some regulatory controls. The reason is this.
Fair enough. Now you were actually last time when we stopped, you were looking at our the statutory provisions. So you showed us section 10(3).
Before that, my lord, would your lordship.
Let's quickly run through the statutory provisions so we can make some headway then.
And my lord, I'll show, my lord, what. Lord, there is a biofuel policy, and ethanol is an element in the biofuel policy. It's a national project. And if that project succeeds, my lord, the dependence on other fuel would be substantially reduced. So, my lord, there is some kind of a regulation in national interest, my lord. Now, please see, my lord, my lord, I'll take your lordship, my lord, to the notice. It's there, part of my original written submissions, my lord. But, my lord, before, as my lords have, my lord, been pleased to say, my lord, I'll just take your lordships to the act. Lordship, give me only a minute. Your lordship, I was at section 11. I'll read only those sections which are relevant. My lord, first, kindly see section 10. And bear, my lord, one fact in mind, your lordships are not deciding only alcohol. That incidentally happens to be the fact of a case which is referred. This law which my lords in this 9-judge combination would lay down, will apply to all scheduled industries today and in future also if regulation is required. Therefore, my lord, I am assisting not, my lord, to win in an alcohol related matter, to assist your lordships fully, objectively. Lord, section 10(3), subsection 3. Where an industrial undertaking is registered under this section, there shall be issued to the owner of the undertaking of or the central government, as the case may be, a certificate of registration containing the productive capacity. Well, production comes here. That's the reason I am not showing. Productive capacity of the industrial undertaking and such other particulars. Not four last two lines also. Productive capacity of the industrial undertaking and other prescribed particulars. Lord, suppose some commodity from the scheduled industry is now brought under licensing regime for some good reason, my lord, subject to your lordship's judicial review if challenged. Then, my lord, this will be done. Then 5, in specifying the productive capacity in any certificate of registration issued under subsection 3, the central government shall take into consideration the productive or installed capacity of the industrial undertaking as specified in the application for registration made under subsection 1, the level of production immediately before the date on which the application for registration was made under subsection 1, the level of highest annual production during the 3 years immediately, etc., etc. So, production is a part of IRDA,
Yes.
which undisputably traces its origin to entry 52, list 1, read with entry 33, list 3. But why I say this? Tikaramji says industry in 52 is confined only to manufacturing. After taking note of the act itself, I'll show how Tikaramji is either bad or is obiter.
Now, apart from 10.3 and 10.5, what is the other provision?
11.2. I have marked my copy. I will not read anything which is irrelevant.
Right.
11.2. A license or permission under subsection 1 may contain such conditions, including in particular conditions as to the location of the undertaking and the minimum standards in respect of size to be provided therein, as the central government may deem fit to impose in accordance with rules. In future, this contingency might arise with regard to some of the schedule industries. Therefore, this provision. Then 11A, your lordships have seen license for producing or manufacturing new articles. But please see, my lord, 11B, power of central government to specify, my lord, I'm sorry, my lord, one more fact. While going through this, my lord, kindly bear one fact in mind, because that would be necessary when I assist your lordships on the question of repugnancy between the state provision and the central provision. Lord, one of the condition, one of the ground on which your lordships would test repugnancy would be that is the central act intending to cover the entire field of the subject? If the entire field is occupied by the central law, that would be one of the considerations. My lord, the Chief Justice in forum has, my lord, analyzed that. And my lord, I'll cite that judgment and 1 or 2 judgment on that. So that is one more reason why your lordships may see this act in totality, that it intends to occupy the entire field. They may use it, they may not use it.